spoken to you that Gandhiji's phase, okay, Gandhiji's political activism, it is going to be divided into two major phases. So when we talk about this phase, what Gandhiji is generally going to do here is that Gandhiji, he was of the idea that the particular, there was the South Africa. In the South Africa, there was the colonial government, that is the British, British representatives were governing South Africa, and the home government was there in England itself. So what Gandhiji believed is that the oppression that is happening in South Africa from the British side, it is only happening at the lower levels. That means that the British officials who are there at the lower levels, they are doing the oppression in South Africa, and the higher authorities of the British in South Africa and in England, they are unaware on the real situations that are prevalent in South Africa. So when Gandhiji is of this ideals, what Gandhiji is going to do is that in the moderate phase, we are very much well aware that what the moderate phase means, to be following the constitutional methods. So Gandhiji in the moderate phase, what he is going to rely upon is sending petitions and memorials to the Britishers in the South Africa's higher offices, the most higher offices, and in the England as well. That means in the England to the highest offices. He is going to send petitions and memorials stating the real and the true nature of the people of South Africa, because he was of the opinion that when those people got to know on the real situations that are there in South Africa, those people would take the initiatives to solve the crisis. However, these petitions and prayers and memorials that Gandhiji sent, it did not have that much of impact. Gandhiji even visited England for the same thing, but even that did not have any impact. So finally, Gandhiji in the year of 1906, now he was of the opinion that the moderate phase could not achieve that many things. So then Gandhiji is going to move towards the Satyagraha phase. So we'll look at the Satyagraha phase, but the aspect of 1894 till 1906, what all things are going to happen? Because Gandhiji, he is not going to just stay quiet here. And during this point of time also, during the moderate phase also, Gandhiji is going to be carrying out certain of the other activities here. So what is Gandhiji going to generally do at this point of time? So Gandhiji's political activities from 1894 till 1906 may be classified as the moderate phase, and during this phase he relied on petition and sending memorials to South African legislatures, colonial secretary in London, and British Parliament, because the thing he thought I told you. His aim during this point of time also, his aim was to unite the different section of Indians and to give their demands wide publicity, because here what he had seen during this point of time period is that even in South Africa there was diverse group of populations and they were not that united. So his one of the most ultimate aim was to unite these particular sections, because the more divided you are, the more the Britishers will not listen to you. So he wanted to put up an united front in front of the Britishers, so that the Britishers listen to the demands of the Indians. That is going to be there. Then this he tried to do through setting up various organizations. Now as I just mentioned to you that he wanted to unite the sections, and there were diverse, there was diverse groups. But how could he unite these sections? Because when Gandhiji, he decided to stay in South Africa in 1894, after that obviously Gandhiji is going to have some followers, and those followers, they are going to not only belong to one religion, but they are going to belong to diversity of backgrounds and faith. So what Gandhiji decided at that point of time is that people, in spite of belonging to different religions, if they are united, then things can go through. And in order to unite these particular diverse background people, one political association is very much important. It plays a very important role. That if you are a political association on the secular aspect, so people from diverse backgrounds, they could become a part of it. So what he does is he is going to create an association that was known as Natal Indian Congress in 1894, wherein whoever were his followers, he would tell them on what activities needs to be done. So his aim was to unite the people of the South Africa, the diverse backgrounds, and that was also the aim of the Congress. That was also the aim of the association that Gandhiji set up, and whoever were his followers in the association, they also had that aim. So they worked accordingly to unite the different sections that resided in South Africa. But it was not only going to help if the particular people belonging to the political association only took the initiative. It also needs to come from the public side. So for the public, because the people, they were very much they are very much religiously sensitive, they would not unite that easily in spite of the political in spite of the political association giving the statements. So Gandhiji here, he thought that if I create awareness within the people, so then the people, maybe they can unite at that point of time. But and for that, he is going to start a newspaper, a journal, in which he is going to be writing things. But what is he going to be writing things that could lead to the unity of the people who belong to different religions? So he is going to write the things that how the Britishers are oppressing us, how the Britishers are, means there was also divide in the society, and because of that divide, how the other forces are benefiting, because of that, how you are being oppressed. And like this, Gandhiji, he tried to create awareness amongst the population, and when the population is going to read this newspaper, they are going to get those awareness. But in what language is Gandhiji going to release this paper? Because people at that point of time, everyone does not know Hindi. So people also had certain regional languages. So Gandhiji, he released this newspaper in multiple languages so that people could also, who belong to different language backgrounds, they would also be able to correlate. So he started the Indian Opinion in the 1903, and these newspapers were published in Gujarati, Hindi, Tamil and English. So a very important point the UPSC can ask a question upon, that from the following options, the Indian Opinion has been published in how many languages? And the UPSC has asked on Indian Opinion, okay, in its MCQs. Then when because of this, a lot of people started following Gandhiji, and they got started and they started to get associated with Gandhiji, with Gandhiji. At that point of time, Gandhiji, he is going to to give a stability to the followers. He is going to establish the Phoenix settlement in the Natal, and this settlement, it was set up in 1904, and it is going to be inspired by a single reading of John Ruskin unto the last. So as I told you, he was a very avid reader, and he is going to be influenced from all these aspects. So here the Phoenix settlement was there in 1904. After that, Gandhiji, what happened is that, means during this point of time only, when Gandhiji is working in creating awareness and uniting the sections, at the same point of time, Gandhiji was sending petitions and memorials to the British also. And at the same point of time, Gandhiji was also working to increase the status of the Indian immigrants in South Africa. And in order to raise the status, what is Gandhiji going to do is that he is going to, do a particular thing during the Boer Wars. Means, that is what I am telling you, that multiple things are happening simultaneously. One is that Gandhiji is working towards unity. Second is that Gandhiji is working towards creating awareness. Simultaneously, Gandhiji, he is also working towards giving them the particular direction in life. Then Gandhiji is also relying on sending petitions and memorials to the British government, and simultaneously Gandhiji is also taking steps in order to raise the status of Indian immigrants in South Africa. Now one such step, it was taken during the Boer Wars. The Boer War. Now what is the Boer War? So Boer War, it is going to be the idea wherein Boer, this particular Boer, they were the Boer people, okay, who were locals of South Africa. Locals of South Africa. Now who are the Boer people? Who are they? So initially what had happened is that during the 17th 18th century, there was some of the Dutch population who came to South Africa, and that Dutch population got intermingled with the local population, and there is going to be the lineage of that population which is going to start. So those people, they became the locals there, and they were known as Boer. So these Boer population, what happened is, when the Britishers were there in South Africa, they were expanding their areas, and because of that expansion, the Britishers are going to come in, contact with the Boers. So there is going to be the war that is going to be fought in the year of 1899 and 1900. Now during those wars, what is Gandhiji going to do is that Gandhiji is going to volunteer in 1900 to form a group of ambulance drivers, because he wanted to disapprove the British idea, because the Britishers at that point of time thought that Hindus, they were not fit for manly activities which involved danger and exertion, and Gandhiji did not want the Britishers to have that of a perception. So he tried to convince the Britishers to allow the Indians to fight in the Boer wars from the British side. However, the Britishers did not accept to that demand, and the Britishers are going to, the Britishers are then going to work. So okay, then the Britishers are then going to tell the Gandhiji that we cannot allow this. But after a lot of influencing and talking and everything, Gandhiji was then allowed by the Britishers to send some volunteers as ambulance drivers, that is the Indians as ambulance drivers. So this was there, and they were trained medically and certified, and then they were sent to the front lines. However, by the time period of 1906, once again the British's expansionistic tendencies, it is going to bring them in war with one another local kingdom in South Africa, that is going to be the Zulu kingdom. However, here at this point of time, once again Gandhiji, he is going to tell the British that allow the Indians to fight the war with you. Now here Gandhiji, many of the people, they are going to criticize Gandhiji, and they do criticize Gandhiji for always telling the Britishers that allow the Indians, Indian immigrants, to fight the war from your end, from your side. However, there was a certain thing that was in the backdrop of Gandhiji, that why did actually Gandhiji tell this to Britishers? Why did he want the Indians to fight the war from the British side? Because you think that in today's time, when Russia and Ukraine war is happening, so the people of Ukraine or the people of Russia who have been resident in any part of the world, they are going back to Russia and Ukraine, and they are fighting those wars for their country. However, the people who are not the citizens of Russia and Ukraine, they were leaving those areas. So what do we understand? That if you belong to that country, you will fight the war for them. You will fight the war, right? Because it is your country. But if you are not belonging to that country, you will not be fighting the war, and you will just go out of there. So Gandhiji here, what he is going to do is that he is going to tell the Britishers that let us fight the war. And the main intention that Gandhiji had was that if the Indians fought the war here from the British side against the Zulu kingdom to protect their areas, that means that the Indian immigrants, they were the citizens of that particular country. So it would have somewhat legitimized their claim of being the citizens of South Africa. So that is the reason that Gandhiji is going to tell that. So here, when the war was there against the Zulu kingdom in Natal, Gandhiji encouraged the British to recruit Indians. He argued that Indians should support the war efforts to legitimize their claims to full citizenship, and if you get the full citizenship, you did not have to pay the taxes, the various kinds of taxes. But until and unless you are immigrants, you have to pay the taxes. So the British accepted Gandhi's offer and led a detachment of 20 Indian volunteers as stretcher bearer corps to treat wounded British. So at this point of time, these were the activities that was done by the Indians, and that was done by Gandhiji in South Africa. However, by the time period of 1906, Gandhiji also decided to go back to India for some time. So when he comes back to India, here in India, Gandhiji, he is going to release a green pamphlet. Green pamphlet, it was basically the pamphlet that is going to talk about the reality of South Africa, that is how the Britishers, they are going to keep the people in South Africa. So when Gandhiji released this particular pamphlet, the news even in India that how the South Africans were mistreated by the Britishers, it spread like wildfire. And the people could resonate here that the British colonials, they are doing the same thing here of oppression, and they are doing the same thing of oppression there also. So that was the idea that these people got to know. Now, after bringing the green pamphlet, Gandhiji, he again returned back to South Africa. But Gandhiji's boat, it was not allowed to dock for nearly 3 days by the Britishers because of the green pamphlet that Gandhiji had released in South Africa, exposing the British in South Africa. So when Gandhiji's ship was not allowed to unload for 3 days, after that Gandhiji, when he came on the port, means he managed to come on the port, the Britishers found him there and the Britishers beat him because of the green pamphlet issue. And after that, Gandhiji is going to realize that the moderate phase, it will not lead to anything. So Gandhiji, what he is going to do is that